Welcome to our Calvinian architecture, to this beautiful, clear, translucent morning after a big rainstorm. All the raindrops are still on all the leaves, glinting off them like thousands of little pearls. Today I'm reading from 6th octave, 2nd chapter, Argia, and I'm reading verse 3, which is a story of somewhere I wanted to live, and then I'm moving on to another story. These are all responses to Italo Calvino's approach to the world, to being, to place and time and memory and history. They're about relationship, essentially. Other things as well. Verse 3. Sandro and Rosa ran La Trattoria at the top of Burke Street during the early 70s. Every night, for some reason, was an excuse to eat and drink. Its interior had been designed by my sister's ex-husband. That's how she met him, through me, when I studied architecture, but studied is not the right word at all. Anyway, they'd be there, and my parents sometimes. Sandro had built it. He was a builder by trade, a kind-hearted man from the mountains of Abruzzo. He didn't say much, and always had a hammer stuck inside his builder's leather belt that was done up tightly around his protruding midriff. He and Rosa lived across the road in Burke Street, behind and above a two-story building, a bookshop, I think, but I'm not sure. Anyway, one morning I was doing some labouring work for him. I had to meet him at his house. I remember going up there, around the back, through a lane, and the strong smell of coffee hitting me between the eyes. Then Rosa, also an Abruzzese, welcoming me in. And the generosity of it all, somehow, the smiles, the cups, the little biscuits, overwhelm me. I long to live like them then. I long to have a coffee percolator and a kitchen and a wife named Rosa who would make me coffee in the mornings, not to drink necessarily, but to smell. To have the fragrance permeate the house, and then you'd walk outside and you'd be in the city with the perfume of diesel fumes and petrol and food cooking and rain on the footpaths. A city, in short. I hadn't realised that Melbourne too had that. It had it like Trieste had it, and I wanted to be inside it again, so much so that a year later I was living in Guildford Lane on the 3rd floor of an old warehouse. But I cried all day and stayed awake all night. Sandro, meantime, went broke from being too generous, too trusting. He moved to Doncaster and cured hams and sausages in his garage. He developed a distinct limp, and Rosa left him for a younger, more savvy man. Still, every time I walk up that end of Burke Street, I think of Sandro's kitchen and those steaming cups, Rosa's dark-eyed smile, all gone now, funneled into an East Doncaster garage where Sandro was found only a few years ago, hung among the hams. It takes more than the fragrance of coffee, doesn't it? I know it does. Verse 3 from the 6th octave, 4th chapter, Trude. Story of a journey. Thomas Nordenstad and I get a motorbike out to the Mekong. We have to have drivers, of course, and we ride out through Phnom Penh's endless suburbs, hut towns, sheds barely held together, past the Russian market, the stadium, the nightclubs, the foreign press club, into the flat, dusty roads that border the jungle. You wonder what's in there sometimes, and you know that the killing fields are only just over that line of trees. We get to a little boat hire place that the drivers have recommended, and sure enough, there it is, a bamboo platform, 3 little canoes tied up with hemp ropes to the jetty. Other boats float or are steered past us by women selling rice cakes and dried fish patties, fruit, peanuts, coconut milk. We buy some of all of that. And though the motorbike drivers are trying to bargain with the boatmen how far they might take us downriver, I don't want to go too far. I want to float very slowly. I want to lie back at the bottom of the canoe, looking up at the sky. We each get a boat and do just that for a few hours. We pass many tiny villages. Everyone's building or rebuilding something, mostly shelters of some kind. I'm not sure which of the two they're engaged with. I have my hand out in the water and it gurgles up the inside of my palm over my wrist. We glide through reeds and riverbanks with buffalo wading and children playing. It's Saturday afternoon and I wonder what that means here, what Saturday means. And Saturday afternoon means someone high up a scaffolding is singing, and someone else, he has a red bandana, waves. All I see is the glint of his white teeth as he grins. He waves and calls the canoe over and calls it urgently. The boatman steers us to him, and I wonder what is happening. Thomas floats by downriver silently in his canoe. The scaffold singer wades into the water and comes to us, hands me a platter of tiny, just-picked pineapples, all peeled and ready to eat. The boatman, who knows a little English, tells me that he's offering me the pineapple because it's a happy day. His first son was born only a few minutes ago, and I'm the first to pass by, therefore sacred, and he must honour the first stranger to pass by his son's birthplace. He's grinning and motioning me to eat it. He's explaining to the boatman excitedly just how happy he is. Tears are welling in his eyes. I eat the pineapple at first slowly, and then as the fruit bursts inside my mouth like a million just reborn suns, I eat more and more avidly till it's running down my chin and arms, and I can't get enough. He's patting my back, happy, very happy, he yells, into the direction of his house, behind some palm trees. Someone yells something back and laughs. The boatman explains to me what the woman has said, that now she has a happy house. So he also joins in the pineapple feasting, at first respectfully, but pretty soon the 3 of us are covered in juice. I look over to the beautiful house, suddenly so very beautiful, and see more platters piled high with pineapple being brought down to the riverbank of this fine Saturday afternoon on the Mekong. It's all I can think of saying to the new father. I have to tell him, it's Saturday. I tell him, it's Saturday afternoon. He laughs and laughs as he holds me tight by the hand. But Saturday afternoon or Thursday morning, all time, isn't it? Until tomorrow, 6th octave, 5th chapter, Olinda. Suddenly I want to eat pineapple. Until tomorrow, may you have a Thursday pineapple afternoon. Until then.